Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to this FS22 Let's Map video. I'll keep on working on my upcoming American map Marigold Farm. In the last part we built this lake, or rather we decorated this lake because it was already there, but we made it cozy and nice. And yeah, between the parts I changed the bench. I like the bench that were there, but I thought it looks too new, too modern, and therefore I added my picnic bench from my picnic bench pack that is in ModHub, and I think this fits a little bit better to this rather rustic style. Yeah, and we have two of them, so we can have a whole family picnic there. And then go and do some angling or jump from this landing stage. I think here you can have a lot of fun in the summertime. Yeah, what do we do today? I thought maybe it's time to start working on this riverbank, or on the bank of this creek. And yeah, it will be challenging maybe because it's rather high, the difference. Maybe I will smooth it down a little bit, that it's not so high and steep. At some areas, yes, I would keep it. Maybe there I would need to keep it because I want this rather flat area for productions here, and then I will make rocks here. But at other places it's maybe nicer if it's not so high and steep. But here this looks like it should be high and steep as well. And I thought on whether we need an additional bridge, but that's not so easy because of the steepness. And the question is, where would another bridge be useful? Here we have one, the main bridge, and there we have one too that is leading to this shepherd's area and forest area. And so another one would make sense here, or rather here, but this is rather close to this, and here would be better because of the distance. But then here we don't have something like a road, because here it's blocked off by this rocks. Let's see how steep it is. Yeah, so this is not such a nice area to drive, because you don't only need a bridge, you need something where you can go after the bridge. Here this would be a good place to cross somehow. Maybe I try to make a bridge there, and this maybe would be okay in this production building area where we have the grain mill. So this and an additional building, and maybe another production as well. So then I would see the river banks are not exactly the same height, but more or less. So I could bring this down maybe. So then I will search for the bridge. bridge with a rim, and I wanted to use a very simple wooden bridge because this is somehow a secondary assisting bridge and no main bridge. So yeah, this one. The one that I use on hinterland. But maybe... Oh yeah, look how deep it is. Those legs are not long enough. And it's still too deep, so it needs to go higher. And where is the water? It is here. So if I make this not as deep at this place, something like a natural crossing or so, then this could work. Yeah, so let's check on the angle is not good. Okay, but okay, it would be good for this road. Like so, maybe. Let's see from above. Like so. When I'm rotated at 0 degrees, then it should have the right angle, and it should be in the middle of this, so somehow like that. And then let's see. And I will modify the riverbed. And I will modify this. So how long is it in this direction? Oh, we have quite some place. Okay, but it should be even higher. So like so, and then I can make this that it matches or fits. And maybe here I make a rather rocky area, and here it's not so rocky. Okay, and here I have to bring it down. And there in the water I have to lift the water up. So maybe I click on this water creek. Now I can see it very well, and I can just bring it all to this height. So this would be around this height, I'd say. Let's see, this is 20 meters. And then replace and make it wider. Let's see, maybe 5 meters, yeah. Oi, oi, oi. Yeah, but that is exactly what I wanted. Oh, and I only want to make it on lower ground. So I don't want to reduce the height, but only bring it up. Now I make this wider. First I activate the water again. Okay, good. We still have the water above this. So And I think the creek doesn't need to be so deep. So maybe at other places, but in this area, not. And then I can work on a gentle slope. So let's bring the water back. Ah, this is not okay. Okay, so now I have to, yeah, maybe only until here. Or maybe like so. So that happened because the water in itself has a slope, which is natural with a creek. So, and now I try to slope this that it becomes more natural. Even if you usually can't see this because it's too deep underneath the water. So now the bridge is standing. Good. And here comes the water. So now and I think when I do this, start working on this area here, I should rather soon be working on this production area. So I have to think about which building do I want to put as an additional building for the modern grain mill. So I don't want to have a big factory, but rather a small family tiny grain mill, and this is the very old one from the grandfather. Yeah, and another production or selling point, because I think we have place for at least one more. So there will be 2 or 3 productions or selling stations on this area. Yeah, but first I have to think about what I want to have here. And it shouldn't be big, so only small things and nice and cozy. So now I make replace for here. Doesn't want. Ah, okay, because I limited it, yes. Now here we are. So here it goes up, come on. So, oops. Maybe I make the navigation speed slower. Half speed or so. Come on. Yes, very good. Maybe a little bit further away, and then here we start a rocky area. Okay. And here it should go up. And maybe even 10 centimeters higher. 3, 4, let's see. Yeah, even more. So. And this will be smoothed out later. And here I should do the same. This will be much stronger, maybe even bigger. Then it's faster. So. Okay, maybe here it could go down a little bit. Yes. So I go a bit further in this direction, then smoothing works better. So, and now bigger and smoothing. This is replace. I choose subtract. Oh, I have the noise activated. Yes. when the noise is activating, the subtract doesn't work. So it only always adds, but in a bumpy way. So. Oh, that was the wrong mouse button. So let's see. I think this is still too steep. Maybe I can make the smoothing bigger, then it's more effective. And I think it may be a little bit bumpy on this kind of side road that I'm building here. So. So, very well. And here it is kind of bumpy anyhow. Yeah, but I think it matches the terrain that is here in this area, so I would say it's okay. And I will test all those roads and stuff, whether it's okay to drive there or whether it's too much. Good. So then let's think about it. I think most of this area will be gravel or things like that anyhow. So that maybe there is no special road needed here. But then I have to remove all this grass on this side, and then on the edge I think I will have a border with grass, but this is not yet defined. So we choose meadow and then the harvest ready and limit to texture grass and subtract is good. And then I just remove it here. So. And don't worry, I will add grass again wherever it seems suitable. So, as I'm not yet ready to put the production buildings there, it's a little bit difficult, but maybe I just prepare the area. The question is whether this is flat. It isn't. But maybe I can just put some flat areas where I have the buildings. I think it's flat enough for this. So, how do I do it best? Maybe I should start here. Yes, maybe. So let's see, 10 meters is okay, but square. And then there was something like concrete gravel or so. Oh, it's not here. It's on Wunzig, I think. Then maybe I choose pathway. Yeah. Oh no, the concrete gravel is there. This is just an additional decorative texture, but no full texture with 4 aspects. So I think like so. I go from the top, or rather here. Yeah, and I just ignore those border stones. They will go somewhere else. Yeah, why not? Here we have a residential building, but I think it's okay to put another building here because this won't be a big factory, but yeah, small production or selling point area. And yeah, I decided to make the zoning of this little village flexible, so that you can have a mixture with residential buildings and commercial buildings, and even some that could be considered small industrial scale, yeah, and agricultural, but no big factories. None at all in this valley. This is nice when you can set the rules by yourself. And I watched videos about the zoning in America compared to European zoning strategies, and it is quite different. So the zoning in America seems much stricter, and so there is not a lot of mixture between residential and commercial, so you always have to drive by car to come to the next shop. And I think even schools are in different zones. And here in Europe, we try to have smaller or normal size shops and kindergartens and schools and such close to the areas where the people live. And a little bit narrower. 4 maybe. Yeah, that is good. Like so. And then here I'll make a road later. A simple dirt road. And here we connect with this, and there we connect with this. Okay, and later I'll see whether I need more connections and so. And now I remove the grass on pathway. Yes, very well. Okay. This stands somehow a little bit lost and alone here. Maybe I could make a little hill. This would not look nice if I would have a little hill, but then I would need to change this again, but it's no problem, because on a little hill it would get more wind, and I think it would look more romantic. And I could make this little hill here, just a tiny one for this, big enough for this and not much bigger. And then make this this riverbank rocky, so like this, more or less. And the modern grain mill that is electrical, maybe, that sits here on the ground. Yes, I think I try this. So first I put this somewhere else. We make a locked group out of it. Okay. Whoosh whoosh. And then I make this little hill. 10. And round. Yeah, and it shouldn't be too steep because I think it needs to be accessed at least by a hand wagon or a small wagon with a horse. So well, this will take up quite some space when I do a small road there, and maybe the tree has to go somewhere else. So now I try to make it flat on the top. Replace, yes. And then here to build a small road from here would be easier, I think. But the natural one would be from here or to here, because there is the village. I think I follow the natural one. So here smooth. This can be more bumpy then, but this should be very nice and smooth, and it won't stay in this texture, don't worry. So now I make it smaller. Oh, this is too small. Maybe like so. Work out some bumpiness. And here. Okay, and this should be flat, yes. And then I go here and maybe with the noise tool again, and then bigger. So somehow this is already too steep. So we will have stretched textures. I'll show you later when we have the mountain texture there what a stretched texture means. So, and here, oh, this is all very, very steep. But I think I can't put this river higher, because at some places it won't work. Maybe I could make it a little bit steeper, but then I think I would get problems here in the... Yeah, here this is not so high, so I would have to change this area completely if I would heighten the slope of the water. And because here it should be level with the big river. Okay, so then we have to live with the steep area here. Yeah, and I make here I can smooth it down a little bit, but here it has to stay like that because of the road, or it won't stay like that as it is now, but the overall steepness will stay. Or rather, maybe, yeah, I could smooth it a little bit. Let's see, but the road should stay for sure. So here I can smooth it, make it less steep. Then we get less problems with stretched textures. So, yeah, it's still very steep, but less steep than before. So, and here I do the same. And now I start adding with the noise. I hope we get some nice noise. If not, I have to make the noise by clicking with a smaller brush. So it's becoming steeper again. But without the smoothing it would have been even steeper. So what is with here? Maybe I make it a little bit bigger. And then sure, it's a little bit noisy, but not so much. So if you work with smaller brush and click a lot, you get more interesting structures, but this is too small. so. And we are nearly there when I start adding the mountain rock texture, and then you can see what I mean with texture stretching. So come on, yes, a little bit, come on, here, yeah, wonderful. So now I go into the painting. Maybe 10 maybe, and then mountain rock, more than 20 degrees. Oh, it's not so bad with the texture stretching. That is good. I thought it would be more terrible. So I did my work as I should. Maybe I can show you the texture stretching at the other side. So here. And maybe it's even better in FS22 than it was in FS19. In FS19 we had quite some problems with texture stretching when the rocks became too steep. So here, yeah, it's not so bad. But the problem is, and I think they improved it, maybe this is a silent improvement of the engine that was not so much talked about, maybe because nobody knows this problem except map makers. And so those textures that we can paint, they only work from above somehow. And if it's really steep, this texture gets stretched because it doesn't work from this side, but it is applied from above. But I think they changed it a little bit because this looks acceptable. It's flat, okay, because it is a flat structure. But it doesn't look like terribly stretched, and that was a problem before. So, and here I'd like to have a little bit more rocks, even from this side. Maybe I go down to 15. And here it's nice, very nice here. And here will be the road by foot. Okay. Yeah, and maybe you wonder why I didn't knew this, that the texture stretching is not such a problem anymore. On Hinterland I only had small parts with rocks. I didn't made a lot stuff with rocks. And I had a part of the river, like a riverbank made about like that, but I had much more space. It wasn't so steep, and therefore I didn't have the experience that the texture stretching got better. And maybe I'll ask the Giants developers at FarmCon whether they did something about the texture stretching. So, now is this really flat on top? Yeah, it is. Good. Now we go for, or maybe this steeper stuff first. This is maybe about 50 degrees and up to 90 degrees with the dark mountain rock. Let's see. Yeah, here we have some areas with it. Wow, here we see this is very steep. And then the grass on the flat areas. So 0 to 10 with normal grass. Like so. Oh, no. That was too much. And here this windmill would stand, I think, on gravel is okay, or on pathway, but maybe on the edges of this area I make it green, and then we'll have grass. Oh, maybe here I go until 15. Yes, to have this with grass. What is with this here? I try with 20. Yeah, then we get this. Okay. So there we can put some plants and such. Okay. Maybe at the foot of this little hill. Okay. And then maybe here. Here. Like so. And there. Yes. And here at the slope, let's see, 3 meters. Okay, that would be too steep. Okay. Like so. And so I remove the limit. And I have to be very careful and maybe smaller. So now I place the windmill, and this will be narrower because this is only for going by foot or with a little cart or so. And yes, I know we don't have carts in the base game, But in former times we had carts. So is this as flat as it should be? It looks like as if it would be flying, but it isn't. It only looks like this. Yeah, I think it's nearly flat enough. Nearly. So this would be open to here, I'd say. Yeah, is it standing how it should? Yes. And then later we will decorate it with sacks and maybe even pellets of flour and such. And we can add more grass. Dum, dum, dum. So the idea is that this little hill is a natural hill that was already there when the first people came here to build this windmill, and they built it there because of this little hill. So this is still rather wide. 4 meters. So is it good? No, I think this goes more there because the flat area starts here and not there. Yes, like so. Okay. Yeah, and now I start with some grass. Now let's have a look on the slope and steepness and so. I think this is not part of the place area because it's too steep. Yeah, and here we can have the modern building of the mill, I guess. And here it should be green because this is too steep for building. So yeah, and even this new building will stand a little bit on a slope, so I have to find a building that is okay to build on a little slope. Parts of it will be in the ground. So now grass painting and limit it to grass. No, I can make this bigger. And this edge should be, yeah, treated a little bit different. Here we have a nice straight edge because this is a 90 degrees angle, but yeah, wherever we have a different angle, then it's with steps inside, but I can work on this. So, and I think the tree could go here maybe. Well, let's see. Yeah, maybe the tree is a little bit too big and high to be so close to this windmill, because this windmill should stand out because of the wind and because it looks nice. And therefore this huge tree can go maybe there. And here we can have smaller trees. I don't want to have it without any trees, but yeah. We could have production buildings, small ones also even here. Because this is a nice big area. So I will have to think about what kind of stuff I will do here. So but here I make some grass painting around this rock. No, this is not good. Maybe I remove two very small slope. Oh, this is too small, this slope. And maybe only 1 meter. Like so. Yeah. And then I paint the meadow here. And here we will see, I think nobody wants to build there. In this little corner. Like so maybe. And then the grass. And maybe a little tree could be there. And then a very tiny bush-like tree there. So where do we get those little trees? Here are some little trees. And I have to make a new tree area. And I call it Trees Windmill. Trees Windmill. Then I know where they are. So, and now I take the trees from here. Oi, 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 oi. The downy serviceberry 3 and 1. And Maybe a small pine. Yeah. For the beginning, I think this is okay. And pagoda dogwood. I think this is rather small. But I don't know about stage 3. I just try it. So, okay. No, come on. So, now I just try this pagoda dogwood here. Oh yeah, it's not so big. It's much smaller than this. Especially not as high. And then the small downy serviceberry comes here. Yeah. And the pine. Maybe there. Oh, this is a little bit too big, so I put it there. And then we have the pagoda dogwood stage 3. Oh, no, the downy serviceberry stage 3. Yeah. Yeah, so we have trees, but the windmill is the highest. That is exactly how I wanted it. And then we add some bushes. Maybe the big but not too big size. Bush. Big. And limit. Now we make this trick again, that we limit it to one part of the grass texture. Oh, this is too much. Too many. So then I need a smaller. Okay, here they aren't so many. Maybe I will add some smaller ones as well. Oh, and here neither. So. Yeah, and we get this holes again, especially there, but I can add maybe some small bushes and some flowers and such. So. And here it's nearly too steep for anything to grow. Yeah, now I think, oh, here, yeah, this is good. And then some smaller bushes. And they'll fill up some of those empty spaces. Oh, there was a nice big one. Here it is again. So, and there. And then some flowers. Deco foliage, and maybe I go for some cone flowers. First in this empty spots. It removed the bush, so I make it smaller. Come on, yes. Yeah, very well. So, oh, a bush disappeared. This is okay. And now I go for grass too. Then we get them at different areas. Yeah, and now I'm thinking about whether I want to put other flowers here as well, or just leave this dedicated to those yellow flowers, the cone flowers. There are other flowers in the middle of the meadow, so here are some daylilies and these white ones and so, but only few of them. And maybe it would be nice to have some areas with special types of flowers that occur there a lot. And in other areas, I have other flowers. So at the lake, I have an area where we have a big bunch of those daylilies. Yeah, and here we have more of those cone flowers. So, but what I want to do now is the medium grass, or maybe rather paint the foliage gravel grass and very thin, even thinner. In this area here. And then I put some of this. Ah, here it doesn't want to. Okay. But here is okay because this is a straight area. So. Okay. Come on. Do I have it limited? No. So it doesn't want to come here. Maybe here or there, but no. Then I leave it. And now I have this medium grass, okay, and subtract. And oh yeah, it is limited, so without limit everywhere. Now I add some of this medium grass because it's smaller than the other one, and so it's more like a gradient and not so step-like. So, but it's not so easy. But here it can be irregular, so irregularity would be okay, but not this step like straight and then tuck tuck and then straight and tuck tuck. And this is not so easy to accomplish, to remove those stair parts. Oops, that was better. Sometimes if you no, it's not better now. Sometimes if you go very carefully and remove things, you can work finer, more detailed than with painting. Okay, but I think this should be good now. And yeah, do I add some green stuff here? Here would be nice, but other than that I leave it like that. So green, gravel grass. No, I want really real grass. Only here. Oh, not with a slope limit. Yeah, that's okay. And I hope a bush would like to go there. Let's first try a big one. Do I have it limited? No. Yes, yes, this is okay. This is exactly what I wanted. That this whole massive rock area is not so blocky, but a little bit broken somehow. And here this is very sharp, so maybe I can smooth it a little bit. Yeah, it's still sharp. That is in the nature of this kind of terrain modeling, sadly. Okay, I think I like it like that. Yeah, and now I ask myself, do I have the flower sacks already? I don't think so. So I would have to put the textures for the flower sacks, and let's see. Didn't I just know it was other textures? So I will prepare the textures for flower, and then we can decorate this area, and maybe even with old palette and stuff like that. And I put flower sacks inside and here in front and so forth. And maybe the idea is that this is still working and used occasionally because of tradition, but usually they use the modern grain mill. But then they can write on their packages, yeah, made like we did it 100 years ago or something like that. So for marketing purposes, they still use this and it's still working. Okay, yeah, I think that's it for today. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for watching and all the best. Till next time. Tschüss.